Welcome to GTI TV. With me today, I have my daughter, Catherine, Manny Neil, and Kevin McCaffrey. Thank you for joining us today. Manny and Kevin, and specifically Manny. So you're here. Tell us about why you're here and being a youth, part of GTI Youth Committee. What does that mean to you, and what kind of things can you bring to the community that others might want to continue to connect with?
Well, I think the youth community is very important because I feel like our youth is like the next generation, as they put it, right? So like, even for me, because again, I'm a younger guy, so it's like I want to be able to help younger people being able to know that they can do what they want to do and also achieve their goals. And whether that's through football, sports, whatever it is, So like, I just want to be able to help people personally. That's my own thing.
That's great. And you're part. The way we connected was through CT State, playing for them this past year. Are you going to be looking to play for them this coming year?
Absolutely, yes.
So what are some ways in which you can kind of get yourself out there? Because get recruited is very difficult, right? And you have some connections through GTI to connect to all schools in the country. So how do you think you can use your placement on GTI website as a youth committee member? How do you think you can use that to kind of connect and get awareness out there that you're looking to play at the next level?
Because at the end of the day, it's not always about sports, So it's like being a part of the youth community. It's not only am I connecting to people with athletic backgrounds, I'm connecting with everybody, Because connections is everywhere. It's not just one place. So being able to use GTI to then talk to coaches, players, advisors, whoever it is, as long as we can be able to help you, then that's really all that matters, So.
And we can connect. Like for instance, Kevin is an advisor consultant for GTI, and you can use him, and he can use you to help communicate, what we do at GTI, right? So Kevin, what kind of thoughts and what kind of questions do you have for Manny, and maybe advice, leadership type of things that you can give to Manny for how he gets himself out there and gets recruited and all that?
Yeah, I'd probably first say don't limit yourself. Right. You may say there's a couple of schools or a couple of people I want to connect with, but it doesn't take much longer to expand that and look for every opportunity. Here I am sitting here, and I haven't known Brad that long, but Brad is a connection, made a connection. I'm sitting here, and so just keep an open mind about the people you interact with and what those connections might mean. Because you just, as you've already experienced, never know where one connection is going to take you. And I'm willing to bet you could cite a few connections that you've made that brought you to where you are now,
100%.
Right? That you didn't see coming, they just happened, and to realize there's still more of those out there for you in your everyday experience.
Right.
So you're currently in school.
Yes.
Right? And you go to CT State.
Yes, sir.
And you get a scholarship for that, correct? So Kevin and I and the rest of us pay taxes. We pay for that, right? Which is great. Now, going to the next level, but you had to pay to go to play football, right? $850. So we're raising funds. GTI is helping to raise funds to try to help offset that and maybe get you a scholarship from Coach Jackson.
Right.
And what would you recommend to others? I mean, wouldn't you recommend to everybody to maybe consider going to one of the CT State community colleges?
100%, yes.
I mean, it's one of the top 3 education community colleges in the country.
100%, yes.
Oh, wow.
So, so it's a great opportunity, and then the next step when they go to get a 4-year education, consider all these different schools throughout the country and really throughout the world, and connect to them. If you could find yourself there, it's not the education, and Kevin, I'll have you kind of comment on this, but the education you get from school, you can get that anywhere, whether it's an Ivy League school or a community college or whatnot. It's basically the same stuff. But what we really want people to do is go out there, expand, go maybe international, and look, can you see yourself here? Are you going to grow? Are you going to connect with people in these communities? So talk about that, how you're going to use this as maybe a platform to go out there and go visit the schools.
Right.
Can you see yourself there?
I absolutely can. But that's why I like our community college, because it's not only just a community college, it helps branch you out to all these other different schools. Because when you go there, they have different connections themselves, whether that's through like Central, Southern, all the schools in Connecticut, So because of that, like even kids who come out of high school and they're like, oh, I don't really know what I want to do. I don't know if I want to go to college. I don't know what you want to do. Everybody in college still doesn't know what they want to do, So when you just go to school and you talk to these different people, you build those connections to be able to know what you want to do. Nobody has everything figured out yet, So being able to be a part of this to then help kids figure out what they want to do and being able to do it to the best of their ability is really all that matters.
And consider, and consider even going to school in California or the Midwest.
Right.
And by the way, it's a lot less expensive.
Right.
So Kevin, if you can kind of comment on that, and what would your advice be to all the kids that are in college or high school or whatnot, and how to look at other schools and how to explore the possibilities that they don't think they can get into Ivy Leagues, but you just apply. Go ahead and get the rejection or whatnot.
Yeah. Well, they've always said, if you don't play the lottery, you'll never win it, right? So if you're never out there looking, you're not going to end up somewhere else that might be better for you. I went to a couple of different schools, and the curriculum isn't that much different. I mean, they may have different classes, but to your point, I mean, you can have a phenomenal teacher in a community college. You can have a phenomenal teacher at Yale University, right? And there may be some differences if you look at the whole curriculum, look at all the teacher groups, but you can find greatness wherever you go, But again, not to limit yourself. If there's something out there that you have some interest in, it's never going to serve you to be fearful of what you can't do.
Right.
It'll never serve you, right? But to say, and this is what people do with schools. They'll say, I'm going to go to 5 schools. I'm going to go to one that's a stretch. I'm going to just throw my name out there in a stretch, just in case someone bites. And that may be a philosophy too. For even if you don't feel you're at a certain place, is to I'm going to throw a stretch out there.
Sometimes you just got to do things scared. Sometimes, you're never going to be 100% about something. Sometimes you just got to take the risk and just do it.
And when schools are looking for leaders, I mean, you're part of GTI being a leader, right? So, Catherine, you can expand on that and why that's so important.
I was just going to touch on and ask you. So you said that you are a culmination. You're sitting here because of past leaders and past, people that have helped you, and you're now in a position to be that person for others. What do you think is important for you in this position to instill in these individuals that you have, guidance over?
To be able to chase your dreams. Don't let people limit you, and don't limit yourself. Because I feel like especially in today's world, like people limit themselves a lot, mainly because they're scared to do it, So I feel like I said, you just got to do things scary, like there's different things, different dreams that you want to achieve, but you're scared that you can't do it, or someone else has told you can't do it. Given where I'm coming from, a lot of people have always told me that I couldn't do things, but then I have people who have told me that I could, and I've been able to prove that I can do it,
And you made the choice to listen to the ones that said you could.
Exactly.
And
so sometimes you just need that person in your corner to tell you can do it, and that's what I'm trying to be for everyone else, because not everyone has that person. So that's why I'm trying to be the person to tell people you can do what you want to do, 100%, and I'm here to support you. So.
And how important do you think it is for discipline, persistence, accountability, grit? Kevin's story is an outstanding one. He's a marathon runner and all that, and he kind of started running competitively just a few years ago, and he's already back in the top of his age group. So tell me about that. At playing football, and I played football as well, so I know how it is. I mean, it's not easy waking up in the morning, doing workouts, going to film study, and also you have to go to school. Right. It's a lot. It's a lot. So talk about that, and why would a coach be interested in you versus others?
Because given that I play the sport that I play, I come from discipline, and just given everywhere that I've been in my life, like discipline has been like instilled in me since I was a kid. Like I know I've always been told never to settle, always to strive for more, whatever it is, whether it's like going to the gym earlier, because like what they taught us in football is that like the other team probably is gonna get by 5 o'clock, so we're gonna get before. So like we need to like really like work harder every single day and just being consistent. Consistency is the biggest thing. So being a part of the sport that I've been a part of, it teaches you a lot, but it's also not even just about sports, about life. Because again, in life, you have to be disciplined, you have to be consistent, and also come with intention with everything that you do. So it's definitely a very big eye-opener.
And I witnessed that this past, when I saw you guys before you were getting ready to play, and then you played the games and whatnot, and you were definitely a leader out there. You're trying to rally the troops, and you're there early and trying to get them motivated. And that's not an easy thing to do because, again, it's a volunteer program for the coaches. Right. So you have a little bit of challenge there, and you as players have to be like almost players coaches to motivate, do your lifts and whatnot on your own. So that's kind of an important thing. Talk to that as well. Try to how to motivate, because some people are just not being able to motivate. And we're going to do some fundraisers to maybe have a summer camp. You have to try out for the team.
Right. I mean, it's just like what they say. It's like coaches coach and players play. A successful football team should be player driven. And me coming from a lot of the programs that I came from, that's how it was. Like the coaches just showed up there to show us this is how we want things to be done, but the players ran everything.
Yep.
We had like captains, they showed us everything that we had to do. They were the ones getting on us about workouts, making sure you're there on time, making sure you're doing the workout properly, even when it came to techniques, stances, everything. It was the players who did that. Coaches didn't really do that. They came in when they needed to, like, hey, do you need help on this or whatever, but it was mainly player driven. So me coming from that is what I'm trying to instill in my team. And that's how we always do it. So every time we got me and like a couple of other captains, we'll come in early, making sure everybody's on point, making sure we're doing what we're supposed to do. And yeah.
I was just going to say, make sure that you credit yourself, because I've been to several practices and you are that person who you're there early. You're the first one. You're making sure, hey guys, you can't be coming in late. You can't be doing this. We got to be on it. And it's very impressive to see, so.
And building that culture is paramount in any organization or any athletic team or whatnot, and building a positive culture to get that discretionary effort. So talk to that, and really, whether you're playing sports or not, it's paramount. You always talk about, when organizations or franchises are transitioning to a different leadership, they talk about we need to build the culture.
Yeah,
every
positive
time. So,
culture, yes.
So talk about that, and how did you kind of build that culture, and how are you going to continue to build it in a positive to get that united front, so you get that discretionary, you get people working out that, not just being the top one, they surpassing it. Don't self-limit themselves.
I believe the best way to build a positive culture is knowing how to reach different people. So like, cause that was the biggest thing, I even learned that in high school, was that like my coaches, I remember they asked me, they were like if we didn't decide to make you a captain, like how is it that you were able to communicate like with your players? And I'm like, well coach, I believe that there's more to talking to somebody than yelling at them all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's also getting to know your players for them as people, Like, yeah, I know like coaches will yell at you all the time. That's just given the territory. But like when you see a guy slacking at practice, then I'll go talk to him after. I'm like, hey, so what's going on? Because you're not playing how you usually do. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I feel like there's more to people than what they're gonna show you at the forefront, So I feel like being able to connect with people on like a deeper level is the most important part, and really getting to understand somebody. Because there's always more to somebody than what they're gonna show you,
Yep.
So it's just knowing how to talk to people. That's like the biggest thing.
So talk about, we're having an event,
Right.
and a lot of you CT State football players are going to be at the event, and it's financial literacy education. And Joe Lombardi, for with his company, is donating money through GTI to give to you guys. Talk a little bit about that, because we've talked a lot about financial literacy education, and why is that beneficial, and why are you interested in that?
I think it's beneficial just because like it just helps you out through life, you know what I'm saying? To be smart with your money, because like a lot of people like at a younger age, especially in today's generation, they get thrown into a lot of this like hypocrisy and just all of this money, whether it's through sports or whatever, and they don't know what to do with it. And then you just end up like blowing through it, getting everything that you want, versus like, okay, hold on, this is what I should invest in, or this is how I'm gonna create generational wealth, or this is how I'm gonna be able to take care of my family like years down the road. Because at the end of the day, we're all getting older. We're not getting no younger. So it's like, and money's just gonna come and go as it pleases,
And build a skill set.
Exactly.
Right?
So you just got to know how to manage your money, and that's also what we were taught in this program through GTI and just also through CT State. So I think it's very important for people to come out so they can learn this, so then they can be able to set themselves up for success in the future.
Yep, and they can come to GTI because we have job opportunities with all the companies.
Absolutely.
Now in that case, in that particular event, Joe Lombardi from, he owns and founded a financial, Ironhawk Financial, and that's part of on our side. So he contributed $1,000 to GTI, and then GTI is going to fund you, and it offers you can do whatever investment you want, but in this program that you can kind of see, you can kind of play with real money. It's your money, so invest in something, whether it's
I
the
just
S&P
had
500.
a revelation. Remember when I was in high school and I took that business finance class? This is kind of like that, but with actual real money. So I took a business finance class when I was a junior, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Sophomore, junior, something like that. And we basically replicated the stock market. We were given $1,000,
Yep.
and it wasn't real money, but the stocks replicated what they actually did. And there was a winner at the end, and you just got to kind of see, okay, why are you making these trades? What are you kind of doing? And we got into all different kinds. And it just dawned on me how beneficial, because that changed a lot for me.
Yeah.
And started a lot of conversations with both my parents about investing, and I ended up investing at a very young age that it ended up being very fruitful for me. And it just kind of hit me how impactful that really is, like starting with real money in college.
And it's your choice. Take control. If you want to invest in S&P 500, if you want CDs, whatever you want to do, it's your choice. So you're being provided that money. We'll go and make sure you have a bank account. Right. So we're going to send it to your bank account, and then you choose. And then we'll just follow up with that as far as having education of how it's doing, and then diversify. Have many different investments. Own companies.
Right.
Yeah.
You should always have a side business so you can expense things and whatnot. And it teaches you leadership skills, which is something that Kevin, and you understand all the different components, because there's no such thing in this day and age. That's not my job.
True.
It's everybody's job to deliver a good experience for everything, right?
Absolutely. And I was just going to ask, Kevin, you've obviously done well for yourself. You have 2 kids, and just by knowing you the little bit that I do, you're great at giving advice and wisdom. And so I'm just curious what your stance on financial literacy is, and if you have any advice for Manny specifically, but for all of us here.
Well, I would probably defer to the experts and listen, because that's one area of my life that I have, not been purposeful or intentional about.
Okay.
But I do want to touch on something which you said, and you used the term discretionary effort. And I know, I've had exposure to studies of American workers, and American workers, when they start a job, go in knowing they're going to give 70% of what they have to give. But that other 30% is discretionary effort. They kind of wait on it. And the only way to tap that discretionary effort is to feel valued. You won't get it by beating on people. They won't give it. They'll leave at 4:30. They won't do anything extra. They'll do what they have to do to get the paycheck. But if you're not good to them, they are not giving that discretionary effort. But it was interesting what you said how do you motivate people? And you said, well, yes, you're beaten down. I mean, that's football, and that's what people do. It's the testosterone, that happens. But it was interesting to me what you said about going up to somebody who normally is a fireball, and you said, hey, what's going on? That's not you. You're starting from a place of positivity, which is you're usually great. So what's going on? And you can imagine somebody hearing that from you versus, damn it, you better get it straight by next week or you're not starting. I mean, you can see the difference in tapping somebody, because you're starting with, I know the greatness is there. Where did it go? What's going on? How can I help you? And how people would respond to that versus just being beaten down.
No, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's easy to kind of relate it to sports, because football, you're only as good as your weakest link.
True.
And people get hurt. People get hurt if you don't play 100%. And that's why I kind of look at, are they giving the effort necessary to be in position that they're helping the team? And are they making that extra effort? It's kind of like in sales, right? Make that extra call. Are they doing that because they don't do that? Yeah, they're doing it to make money, but a lot of people don't. It's 5 o'clock, I'm going home. We will, try to get that discretionary effort to go ahead and do that extra lift.
Right.
The guys I played with, we'd go running after, at night, 9 o'clock at night, go for a run.
Right after practice, doing sprints.
Right.
Back and forth.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's that, because you need to be, you can't be just as good as someone. It's kind of like when you're interviewing for a job. You can't be just as good as the best. You need to be better. So it's a mentality. It's a mindset. And that's a great book, by the way. Mindset. Just to kind of review that with you and with your teammates and say it's all building that culture to get that discretionary effort. It's very easy to see. I mean, wouldn't you agree, Kevin? You can see it in organizations that have a great culture.
Yes.
You see it with the Patriots, right? When they did well, you see the owner and the quarterback and the coach, and you're going through that. But you see it in a lot of things. You can see it very clearly. It's crystal clear because you see the extra effort. I mean, you didn't have to be here today, Manny.
Right.
You came because I don't think you get paid anything for this, right?
No.
So this is what we're kind of talking about, giving that extra effort, not because you're making some money.
Right.
It's not a job. It's because you want to help people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you know, and kind of build that leadership for everyone. Give them a purpose and give them hope that there is a different way. And it's just kind of reaching out and helping and support with resources and just general support to kind of get anybody in a position that they can be successful.
Right.
Especially, and that's what GTI is all about, because we're scaling very quickly globally. We've won a couple of awards already, humanitarian awards, and we've only been existing for a month and a half now. Right? So this movement's going to go quickly and scale very quickly. That's how we built it, and that's why we built it, to try to help people have somewhere to go, a go-to, if you will. Go to GTI. We have opportunities for jobs. We have opportunities for, you know, connecting with people that you otherwise wouldn't. We've got very highly successful people like Kevin on our board of directors, on our advisors consultants, on the youth committee like yourself.
Yes, sir.
You know, and just use that type of information to really benefit you and kind of share. Like and share our social media content. So it really helps to kind of help build you and each individual's connection to an organization. All we do is give back. We give back in every way. So what do you say to that as far as encouraging everybody to kind of connect with GTI?
Absolutely. I think it's a phenomenal program, and it definitely helps like everybody. It's not just like one area, it's everybody, you know. And like one of the biggest things I was always taught growing up was never forget where you come from. So that's why I like when you said the whole giving back. That's the biggest thing I want to do, is be able to give back, you know, never forget where you come from. So
yeah. Wonderful. You have
I
any
love
last?
that. I was just gonna say, you know, as we close, Kevin, do you have any advice for Manny from a leadership perspective? Because you obviously have a wealth of knowledge, and you've trained several, I say, a plethora of different leaders. What advice would you have for him in this role to impact and have a true impact on the individuals that he's working with?
Well, one is, clearly you did something right to become a captain. That doesn't happen by accident. Right?
Yes, sir.
So, one, reflect on, why do I think I became a captain? Because obviously you did a lot of the right things to do that. You know? But also to recognize, I think you have a great approach about building people. My best approach is to build on their strengths, right? Which you've already gave us an example of that. I think of coaches who, if someone makes a mistake, they take them out.
Right.
And don't talk to them, don't look at them. So what happens is, why am I performing for the coach? Fear-based, goal-based, we had a discussion before this. Fear, I want to avoid him being mad at me. So how do you play ball when you're afraid to make a mistake?
Right.
You don't go all out because you don't want to make a mistake, so you're already limiting your performance, versus the approach you already told us about, which is, hey, you know, I'm going to support you. You make a mistake, I'm not pulling you out, but let's learn from it. Let's talk about it. Why do you think that happened? Right? So I would say, trust your instincts, because clearly it's already there.
Thank you. Absolutely.
And learn from each other. Don't you think, Kevin, that we've learned a little bit from Manny today?
Yeah.
You know, and be willing to listen and learn from each other. I learn more from people than they probably learn from me every day. And that's what makes it kind of, this is so exciting to kind of bring this to the public in general. So I would just say, please try to join our initiative. We're and follow, like, share, whatever you need to do to kind of get it out to the general public. And across, again, you're going to be connected to people throughout the world. I mean, the awards that we won are going to 9 million different companies. So it connects you to those companies, and they're looking for leaders like yourself, right? And so please share our content, go to our website, kind of see how you can kind of get involved with this. And that's kind of where we are. Thank you for joining today, and we'll till next time.